Hi, this is Mark and Tuna, my cat, and we're here to do the reading from the Golden Present Daily Inspirational Readings by Sri Swami Satchidananda. This 365-day video project continues on, and I'm reading these daily and posting them to social media. Mostly it's been to Facebook, but I am building these up on my YouTube page too for those of you that might be interested. It's going to take me a little bit, but I'll have that organized at some point. So this is the reading for October 27th. And the topic is God is neutral. So this is a question and answer format. Question to Swami Satchidananda. You have said that God is neutral. You have also said he can approve or disapprove of our plans and intentions. Please explain how both can be true. And Sri Gurudev Swami Satchidananda says, when I said that God is neutral, that was true. And when I said that he approves and disapproves, that was also true. The sun's rays don't have any color. It's true. But when those same rays pass through a prism, you see all the 7 colors. Isn't that also true? So you see things in a different light depending upon whether you are looking from this side of the prism or that side of the prism. Either one could be true because absolute truth is totally different. The mind can never grasp the absolute truth because the mind itself is limited. If the mind wants to grasp something, it colors it according to its own state. So you can see God as someone who is supervising everything, or as someone who is approving and disapproving, like your conscience. Your conscience is that part of God that is within you. It doesn't approve of everything that you want to do. God would disapprove just as your conscience does, but he won't stop you if you still want to do it. In that way, he is neutral. The light from the sun is there. In that light, you might see a big ditch in the road. If after seeing the ditch, you close your eyes and walk, will the sun come and stop you? No. The sun showed you the ditch, but it won't stop you from falling in. What you do about the ditch is your business. In that way, God is neutral. God just presents the facts and allows you to listen or to not listen. Then you face whatever comes. In the absolute sense, God is not doing anything, but that can be experienced only when you transcend the mind and go and get beyond its limitations. Until then, we just have to understand it as my will and God's will. This is a great one. I love that it's helping to give perspective on sort of this example of the sun, like on either side of the prism. So there's this object in the middle that receives the sun's rays. It transforms it into the colors. So you can say either one are the sun's rays, but I like that when I think about when we decide for ourselves what is truth, which side of the prism are we observing from? And oftentimes it's our limited experience, our limited life experience that decides what we think should be and shouldn't be. Then we use something as a reference from some kind of a spiritual text or scripture, and then we read this and we decide based on what our life experience is, again, our limited mind, to determine how it should be interpreted. And then you figure there's lots of people, lots of different life experiences, emotions. Gets complicated. And then I like how he talked about my will versus God's will. Again, taking in this idea of God as not some faraway being who's, kind of caught up in some other out there place, but it's thinking about God as this part of ourselves that understands the highest truth. Now, again, that can become subjective again. So, what is that highest truth? And that is what I feel is something that we all have to come to on our own. And I feel, in a way, through different phases of life, I might see that spectrum of how it works on that light moving through prism. My truth might only be able to go so far, really close to the prism. Then my understanding of truth might get a little closer and a little closer, or it might go farther and farther away from the sun, in that kind of example. So that's why it's important that we have some practice that helps to quiet the mind and helps us build that muscle, build that ability to be able to listen and hear what we feel is our truth versus what we feel we're being distracted or misguided to think is our truth. And there's so many things that can really cause that mental disturbance and for the mind to see that way. And even things like what we eat, who we hang around, what we watch, what we listen to, all that starts to color the mind. And unless we're able to pull away from that and get some shift in perspective, we're going to just stay colored in the mind with the way that we are influenced by our surroundings, the outside things. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's just to know that that's what's happening. And that's what I love about the yogic scriptures and the practices, is that it actually details how this all ends up happening and why this happens this way. And I like, because I didn't know where this was going to go when this question was asked, how can you say it can approve and disapprove, but also is neutral? And this is a great example. We're just having a limited understanding of it. If we maintain this limited understanding, we don't pull out to see this whole perspective, then, we can get all caught up. So we can end up getting all wound up. That's why I say don't have a cow. Not just mentally or emotionally, but I mean it in terms of don't actually have a cow and don't eat a cow, in that regard. That's my message, my Friday message I sometimes send out. Okay. Oh, here comes Tuna. Hi. Welcome back in. You're right on time. We're at the end. You want to say hello? Yeah, no? Okay. You're just passing through? Okay, she's just passing through. Well, thanks for passing through, Tuna. Can I have you come over here? People probably want to... Yeah, come over. Okay. Here she is. 18-year-old kitty cat. There. It's been a while since you've said hi. You've been part of the reading. There she is. Okay, we gotta sign out. Bye, everybody. You know how it is, you don't want to move. You don't want to move even to reach over and push stop, but I'm going to have to. Okay, I'm going to push stop too.